Definitely like a great tune-up.
there's um, there's an abundance of media being created here. So I
Just
think
swing
there's
around this way a little bit more if you can. Then I'll just can watch everybody. Ah,
here and
yeah, that's awesome. Perfect.
yeah, like it's like literally like right here. Next time you're at the movie
Yeah, I need like a robot to like go around the event.
How you
Per-
doing, Anina?
How?
Anina
Oh, hi,
is
Julian. Nice to meet you.
that's right. She's in from China.
You
You
did
can't hear
the.
you unless.
Yeah, you have to step up. You have to come in close, you guys. Did you see the robotic dresses?
Yeah, it was awesome.
What'd you
You
think?
ready?
Isn't Claire genius? I think she did a wonderful job. And the whole hood and everything like that, right?
That was great. Yeah. Fantastic. Cool seeing in action. Yeah, having something that lets you know when somebody's behind you is convenient for the city.
Oh yeah, the Me Too, so it like jingle jangles, right? Totally cool. But of course, the coup de grace is the rolling up skirt, right? The petals. Like, don't let me, get my dress dirty in a puddle. So,
Where are you?
I'm in Beijing, China. It's 5:30 in the morning now, so a little bit early, but it's an interesting experiment. And I don't know if you guys know, of course you know what's going on here. We're all like been asked to stay home. So it's very interesting. It's the largest world experiment in remote working, if you think about it, right? And I think lots of cool stuff is going to come out of this whole situation. First of all, in my sector, like everybody's going to want to get censored up in clothing, you know what I mean, to stay healthy and stuff. So tech clothing. And then also, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy sometimes, I mean, I have a lab, but I also enjoy working at home. I think a lot of more companies are going to learn to trust their employees to work remotely, you know what I mean? Which I think will make a lot of people happy and stuff. So I think there's like some kind of good stuff coming out of this too. You know what I mean? And not to mention, how about like the worldwide? This is the test. This is a fire drill. You know what I'm saying? Like we always thought about what would happen if, and there's all those movies. You know what I mean about the virus and all of that. So I think we took some cues from Hollywood. So what brings you to the DRAM conference, you guys?
Well, I was speaking with Claire. Yeah. I was speaking with Claire.
You are the Claire counterpart. Oh my gosh. What you're doing is super interesting. Wow. Like, how'd you get into that?
Just through the process, right? Yeah, it's great. I love everything you guys are doing. It's so cool.
Well, it's more on the theatrical side. Hi. How are you? I'm Anina. Nice to meet you.
We had the interview a couple of weeks ago. This is Chris. Yeah. All good?
I'm so glad you could go. I wish you could have been the speaker, of course, my friend. This lighting, you look different. Sorry about that. How was
Good to
it?
see.
Did you see the dresses?
It was a great day. It was fun.
Wow,
Thanks
did
again.
did did people like the robotic dresses and stuff?
The hood was, I think, a big crowd.
Right?
Crowd.
Oh, and like I have to talk to you because just 2 days ago I had a meeting with a company in India that is doing something in fashion but with AI. And I think somehow you guys could collaborate, because they're doing like super high powered trend researching. And I didn't know if you had like open APIs or anything into Adobe. And I thought, because then they have this other part that's called the lab. And that's where like a designer can upload their inspiration, and then the system helps create a garment piece with some like, fantastical stuff on it. I just thought there might be some, cool synergy with the photo aspects from Adobe, and then after the lab, bringing that back to be, made into a tech pack. You know how fashion designers use Illustrator and Photoshop and everything to then build out more of the collection. So I just thought if you guys had open APIs, I think they could be a great partner.
Yeah, let me check. It sounds like a pretty awesome project.
Yes, I mean, like, I think all you guys should build more interoperability is what I called it. You know what I'm saying? I come from the telephone days of, Nokia, so it's all about interoperability. So since your software is so prevalently used in fashion, and this is like a trend AI analysis suggestive thing, they don't do what you do, and there could be some really flow created for the creators. I just think something like that, you know what I mean? Specifically for fashion.
Good to see you.
All right, nice to talk with you. Yay! So there you go. Hey, Marcelo Smack, right now I'm coming in live at a conference called DRAM. And hey, Dennis. Dennis, no phones allowed. Apparently they confiscated everybody's telephone, and so so Claire presented the robotic dresses at this conference, and now I'm teleporting in live from an iPad with a setup going on. So I just think it's super interesting to be able to do telepresence with an event offline, so people can, let's see how people react. So far, without introduction, I think I need like a little robot that can like go around and be present. I think I gotta buy one of those like telepresent robots and then FedEx it around. I think that would have more presence.
I'm sorry, I just realized like our Ask Anina activation is waiting in limbo. I'd like you to meet Ken. Ken? Hello. Nice to meet Anina.
Ken, how are you? Nice to meet you. Yeah, I guess this is a really interesting experiment because, I don't have a body, so I can't like go around the event and introduce myself, I kind of need somebody to introduce people to me, I guess, How did you like the conference?
Oh, the parts that I saw were quite juicy. I'm questioning my own reality as we speak. We should have, this is an experiment like many things, but this activation is an experiment for me too. And I learned the key lessons that for this to work, I thought what we needed was a really expensive robotic telepresence for you. And that would be nice. But another thing that would work is having a totally ordinary production assistant here assigned to be your telepresence.
Right.
To bring you people or bring the iPad around. I mean, you're on a wireless device.
Yeah, I was like just saying myself that if I had that, that thing on a stick, the iPad on a stick that rolls around, maybe I would have more presence, if you know what I mean. I could go up to people, but I'm not mobile. And then I thought, I should develop a wearable that if you could put the iPad in this thing, and what if I could control the iPad, and move it around at least, then I could be like looking places. Hi, nice to meet you, Ken.
This is Jenny, and he is our venue sponsor. We are very, very grateful because he's provided us with the space to have this event.
Jenny, thank you so much.
Happy to help.
Wow, wonderful. Tell me a little bit about you, Denny. Tell me about your space.
So, two things. The space is the building we got when I was a kid, when we were kids, back in the 80s. So we got a building in Soho, believe it or not, the family. and we turned it into an event space. So now it's an event space, and I do a speakeasy here once a month. And that transitions to my other life, which I run the Museum of Interesting Things. Have you heard of it yet?
No, but that's a lot of interesting things, my friend. Did you see the robotic dresses?
Somehow I feel it's right up your alley. So I have thousands of items, everything from Edison wax cylinders to stereoscopes from the 1800s.
Wow, I would love to see that museum. Where is it located?
In Manhattan on Broadway, I have one spot, and then here in the building, I throw a party a speakeasy, once a month, where I show old 16 millimeter film.
Oh my gosh, I can't put me on the mailing list.
Yes.
I would love to be invited. It would be awesome.
Let's see if I can find a.
Oh yeah, you don't have telephones, so you cannot type anything, right?
Exactly, forget it. That's too new school for me. Hold on. Hey there.
Awesome.
Okay, now down. Are you?
Yeah.
Say it out loud.
My email is Anina, ANINA, at
Yep.
360fashion, FASHION, .net, NET. And my name is Anina.
Are you in New York?
No, I'm in Beijing, China. This is like a really cool experiment. Claire, who's one of the designers that I collaborated with from Thunder Lily, she used our Fashion Tech Maker kits, KITS, to create the robotic dresses. And so, so we had her be there, present physically, and then the idea was that I could come in virtually and talk to people, you know? So I think it's kind of a cool experiment, right? And I think it's the future.
Yes, it is. I show the path in order to create a better future, which is why I do the museum. So that's perfect. I call it all the links in the chain. Do you ever come
I
to New York?
would love to see your museum. It's amazing. Where did you collect all that stuff? Is it just over the years, or where did you get it all?
My whole life I've been collecting. So 12 years ago I started the museum because I kind of wanted to do what I call a mitzvah job. Uh, so I decided to collect things that have to do with like invention, technology, but I actually have a fashion show in the museum.
Can we collaborate, my friend? This is awesome. We have 15 pieces of IoT clothing. Claire has like 3 robotic dresses. There's another designer, Azriel Yang. She has 3 dresses. Then we have like laser dresses from a Polish designer. We have IoT, and I'm building a robot now.
I actually work with, believe it or not, though I run a museum, I work with the Futurist Society and the 3D Society. I'm on the board of directors. So we do our meetings here.
Oh,
So
gosh.
you should show your stuff for our board.
I need to like get your info. Don't you dare disappear, my friend. You know, can I take your well, I want to like be in touch with you. I'm sure I can get in touch with you through Adam, right?
Well, here, just go to write down the Museum of Interesting Things.
Okay. I will do
and
that.
believe me, I'm this hardcore about it. People are so sweet to me. My actual phone number's on them.
Oh.
Yeah, people are very good to me. I never get crazies and stalkers. I get just nice people.
Wow.
12 years, 8,000 people, and everybody's in a doll.
Have you met Claire? Have you introduced yourself to Claire? Oh, great.
I brought 2 fashion patterns. I've got boxes of them. I brought an original pattern that's Vogue from about 50 to 75 years ago, and an Audrey Hepburn fashion pattern. And she got.
Well,
I'll take a I'll have Claire take a picture holding the Audrey Hepburn one on her phone so that she can mail it to you. So when you
Wow,
come,
that would be awesome. I mean, it
the
would
dress,
be amazing if you would like to do something and highlight Claire's amazing work. I mean, it's incredible. She's one of the most talented fashion tech designers that I know. And yeah, as you can see from her work, it's super futuristic. I love the concept of being able to augment the body, with like safety, mobility, and then creativity, of course.
and it works really well with, especially the Futurist Society. They would really love that stuff. And we do lectures at NYU about every semester, a couple of times.
What
I'm
is
lecturing
this
there.
future society? I want to know who those people are. Where they live in the future.
Really, I'll introduce you. They call themselves post-human.
Oh my gosh, that sounds
I'll
like
tell
my kind of people, man. I would love to be dialed into all of that. That's amazing. And when I come to New York, I can't wait to see the museum and meet you in person. And
You'll have to coordinate with a speakeasy because I'd love you to introduce your stuff to my crowd. My crowd, I think, would really like it. Yeah, they
wow,
would
that
support.
would be wonderful. That would be what. When is your next meetup or activity?
I do them every month at the end of the month on a Sunday night. So I'll let you know, and then any one of the ones. The futurist one I do is usually around July, but I do a doomsday one in April that would actually work well with you too. That's all my like Cold War and that kind of tech, World War II and radiology and that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And your stuff is that kind of like cool, futury,
I've
atomic
heard
era.
about people like you in New York, but this is the first chance I have to meet one of you that is like super visionary. And 12 years ago, you built this museum. I mean, that's so
I'm
cool.
Fun Society, if you know that band. You
Wow.
know
The what?
the steampunk,
Oh,
steampunk.
yes. So
I'm one of the organizers here in New York.
oh my gosh, you have to see my illuminated chokers. So many steampunkers buy these like illuminated chokers because one has these gears on it and stuff. And I like hang out in San Francisco and right before Burning Man and like the whole steampunk and everything, I sort of landed in that. They invited me these steampunk event to show my stuff. And all these steampunkers, I was like, you guys are awesome. You're so fashionable.
Yeah, it's a really fun community. I've been in it for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, they're great, and they would love your stuff. Your stuff really works very well because I call it future retro.
Future retro, totally like mechanical, because they have gears and like it's all about, mechanics and technology, but also I feel like in a way that if all of the electric went out, steampunk stuff would work because it runs on steam or it runs on alternative. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a born and raised New Yorker. When the power went out, my apartment was the only apartment that worked, and we were throwing parties. I had more fun during the blackout than anyone in the world. I had so much. Everyone was like, "This is perfect for you." I made so many friends during the blackout.
so when zombie apocalypse happens, we know that we're all showing up at your doorstep.
We're
Love
definitely
it.
ready to
I'm just so thrilled. Like, I think this is a cool experiment with, being able to come in virtually at the event. And like I think it's a really interesting like time right now with the whole coronavirus happening and stuff. I think a lot of people are rethinking how we are doing this world, you know what I mean? And right now it's like the biggest experiment in virtual, working from home that we've ever had in the whole world, like so many people are working from home right now. So I think that's kind of cool for employers to learn to trust their employees to work from home because I think lots of people want to work, in that environment.
we were one of the early adopters of that with the museum. It was very unpopular when I started. You know, when you said you're doing your own business, it was like, oh, so you live in your mother's basement. And now it's like you're the, you know, what do they call it? You're a social justice, you know, whatever, or you're a social you know, what do they call it? The social program or something. Not all these they call it like you're a startup, you know, or entrepreneur. Now it's become this whole thing. But back then it was like, you know, you're a freelancer.
You're like derelict, right? Back then you were kind of like a derelict, like, oh, you're working in your basement, and now it's like you're stars and stripes and being like, I started in the basement, right?
Now it's become like cool to have your own thing. Everyone has their own thing. But then it was so not cool. How's it going? What's that? Oh yes, you have. This is. You remember Claire had her show here.
Yep.
So one of the couples is really a sweetheart. I was telling you about them. So this is one of the ones that actually. I forgot your name. Annika. Oh, you never met her? Annika Penny. So she is amazing and brilliant. She looks great in the clothing.
Holly, you look beautiful. Oh my gosh. So nice to meet you.
Nice to put a face to the name.
Oh, I'm so grateful that you could be with us. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you're stunning. Claire told me there were lots of stunning models that she knew and super smart girls. So great to meet you. Thank you so much for being there with us today and making it, spectacular.
It was a very unique experience. I felt like I was in the future.
Were you afraid? Were you afraid wearing any of the, moving mechanical stuff, or you felt comfortable?
My dad, he's a solar engineer and architect, and he likes to put solar panels on anything he can. And he actually designed a coat that has solar panels on it, and it has like a battery packet on it, and it can put your phone, your computer, anything. And I love that coat. So it's like wearable technology is really cool.
Oh my gosh, I would love to follow you on Instagram. What's your Insta?
It's Annika Dallin. It's ANNIKADALLAND.
Hold on, ANNIKA?
Yes, DALLAND.
Hold on, let me look for you. That didn't come through really well. ANNI. K like cat, K like kangaroo, A, E, I think I put an extra A in here. Hold on. EA, wait a minute. Okay, one more time, tell it to me. ANNIKA.
DALLAND.
Is that a C like cat or an E like elephant?
A D like dog.
Oh, a D. Okay, hold on. Oh, I found you. Great. Wow, awesome. Hey, by the way, I'm doing this project where I want to do an online conference with awesome models talking about modeling. Is that anything you would be up for to be part of that? Because pro women, like pro entrepreneurship, because we as models are like, I was a model my whole life. We are like the youngest entrepreneurs, and modeling taught me everything I needed to know to be like a top entrepreneur. And so I have this dream that I want to create an online conference and have fashion models, super smart girls like talking about, their career, from a business perspective, also about their passions, like outside of modeling, and that way to be like real inspiration to other women that, because as a fashion model, I did tech, you know what I mean? And I have a friend, she's a fashion model, and she has a jewelry line, and another friend of mine is fashion model and started like a health business, and so I just really love the idea of women inspiring women. Nobody ever gives us the floor, you know?
You got the floor today.
Exactly. Oh
That's the
my gosh,
pattern.
that's like the oldest pattern I've ever seen. So I just followed you and said hi to you, and just really appreciate that you've been here today with us. I'm going to take a picture of you. Hold on one second, and I'll Instagram you. Yes. Awesome. I'll tag you on Instagram.
So nice to talk to you.
Yeah, and it's so amazing that your dad, did that jacket and you have this connection to tech. So it's like Claire knows all the coolest people, that's for sure. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. It's so great that you're here.
You keep up the good work.
And I hope to meet you in person. I would love to come to New York. I think it's kind of cool to do this sort of like virtual thing from Beijing to New York. It's a really interesting experiment, you know?
I hope you're staying safe.
Yes, don't go outside. And it's a
Bye.
really, a good time to focus on online. And that's why I think it's really interesting. And what's really interesting is that so many people right now are working from home, that it's the world's largest experiment in remote working, that it's kind of cool, actually, to be honest with you. It's surreal, but it's kind of has its upsides too, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you have a good one.
I will. Nice to meet you. And I'm tagging you. And thank you so much for being there, making Claire look great and be successful.
You're welcome. I had a blast.
All right. See you then.
See you.
So cool. Hey, Kenny Mathers, how are you, my friend? So I am coming live right now, telepresencing, I guess you call it, teleporting into an event that's live happening in New York City right now. And Claire Tattersall just presented the robotic dresses at this event in New York. And so I have like a little stand or a setup there, and people are being able to come up to me and talk with them. So it's a really interesting experiment in how does that work, and also seems like there's a really cool crowd happening there, and leads me to think that I need to get some. I need a vehicle. I definitely need a vehicle to be able to move around the event. So I think it's really interesting to see all the different kinds of people there and see what's happening. So very cool experiment. But I do think I need some kind of device that if the iPad is sitting on it, I could like move it around, control it, or do something. I think that would make it give me more presence, let's say. How's it going?
Hey.
Wow, your friend from the museum is awesome.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, you met Denny.
Oh my gosh, the future people and everything. That's so cool.
Okay. Yes.
Hi.
She's in from Beijing.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
Hi.
Great to meet you.
Ed here. The next time I talk to you, this will read out in Mandarin. It picks up my voice and it will translate it. So I would be able to look you in the eye and go through my pocket, process with Google, Translate or Alibaba Translate. So if I were close enough, I would be able to talk to you if you didn't speak English. Of course, everybody, English being the lingua franca, but it is a wearable object.
Well, I totally agree. I was like thinking I'd love to have some jewelry that when I speak in English, like the jewelry would speak in Mandarin. You know what I'm saying? I think that
I
would be
do it.
like super cool.
It's going to weigh an ounce and 2 ounces. It's actually the display is e-ink and it's made in China. And but I could put it here where it needs to be is close to your face because despite my
Like a pin
miserable,
on your hat or something like.
I mean I'm not talking to you in real time or a real person. If this were just text, it wouldn't make any difference. But I see you smile and I see who you are. And so about 70% of the information comes from here and here and here and here. I lost some teeth, which I'm going to replace. So, this is fun. Even coming out of the screen around it is red.
Oh, really?
I don't know whether this is to represent the politics, but it's red and gold.
So, Peter, what brings you to DRAM? What brings
What
you
is
to
this?
DRAM?
Oh, you made the kit.
What?
You made the kit of components to
Yes.
electronics. Are you familiar with? Oh, you must be. A woman from MIT who started a company called Adafruit.
Yes, of course, of course. She's
Yeah,
genius.
and for the universe in general. She's, I think, the second woman that finally makes the cover of Wired magazine. But she's done an extraordinary thing. She owns about 100% of the company, and here's the company hiring engineers in Manhattan. I mean, you don't hire engineers in Manhattan. You hire bullshit artists and marketers in Manhattan. Engineers in Boston and someplace else. But she's gone a long way for making starter kits for making things. When you really want to make it, you have to take the parts out of packages and use them as surface mount components, and then they become completely manageable. But my background is I was chairman of National Semiconductor for about 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got there when nobody wanted. The company was bankrupt when I got involved. So, oh, there we go.
There we go. Now I see you much better.
Anyway, my name is Peter Sprague.
How can I be in touch, Peter?
Peter Sprague, like Prague, Czechoslovakia with an S. S-P-R-A-G-U-E. Prague with an S. Prague.
It's German.
Peter.com.
Oh, okay, great. I would love to keep in touch with you. And when I come to New York, talk innovation.
My son has a townhouse in the one who's really interested in the fashion side, and his wife is a designer. I mean, it would be, we will host a small gathering for you and your friends.
Oh,
But
amazing.
and knows me. The talkative American with the badge idea. He'll know me. We can't leave this lady sitting in Beijing untalked to.
Oh, True. How are you? True Model Management right now in New York City. I'm coming live at an event called DRAM, and
One here.
interesting experiment in Telepresence.
You're not going to be with us. We're all going out to have a drink.
I can't have a drink yet. Haven't figured that one out, how to do a drink remotely.
Oh, really? And pretty good. Okay. Freaking Aaron. You need someone to talk to? Get some magic.
So learning lots of cool things like, when you're telepresent, you don't have a lot of visibility options, so I can't control like where the iPad moves, but that would be a really cool device. you could like pop an iPad on there, and then the person on the other side could like move it around, you know, to look around. It would be super cool. Because right now I'm just, if I want to see the person, I guess I have to be up higher, like kind of the same height as a human, maybe. Because right now I'm just looking at the ceiling. But then before, then they came up and they were a little bit too close. Definitely should have been up higher. But that was cool. I met two super cool people, Peter Sprague and the other gentleman, whose name I don't remember, but he has this museum. It's called the Museum of Interesting Things. Isn't that fantastic? The Museum of Interesting Things. I was like, I got a lot of interesting things for that gentleman. And he says he's from the Futurist Society. And so much for the check your phone in. I saw a couple of mobile phones there. And yeah, I just thought it was an interesting experiment to see. Looks like the event is wrapping up. People going for a drink. That's what Peter said. And I'm just gonna check in because I'm streaming also live on Facebook. So it should be interesting to see if it's being picked up, if the feed is being picked up. This is a test. Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine. My name's Anina. I'm in Beijing.
Hi, I'm Jake. What is happening right now?
I'm just telepresencing.
I can't even resist conversations that they're not even asking what is it about?
I think I need a bigger sign.
It's cold in here. Everyone's got their jacket on.
Oh, that's okay. Really nice of you to take that picture. I didn't get the tag, unfortunately. Anina Net?
Yeah, Anina Net.
I'm here on Instagram, but I didn't get a tag from you. So strange.
Anina Net.
Anina Net.
Oh,
I don't think you can see it. But no tag. What's your account?
Oh, ERIQ?
Is that a D like dog or C like cat?
No, ERIQ.
ERIT.
No. Hold on. Wait. Why is that happening? I have a very old phone.
Oh, that's okay. Old phones in the end will win. They have better battery life.
Alright,
Oh, Eric. ERIQ. Oh, hold on one second. ERIQ. Oritz. ORTIZ. Eric Oritz. Is this you? Oh my gosh. Ooh, you work out.
I don't work. That can't be me if it's someone that works out. My only. Hold on. No.
That you?
That's not me.
Oh wait, here we go. I found you. I'll say hi to you. Hi. Hi. There you go. I just said hi to you 1 second ago. Let's see how long it takes for the hi Stella. Hi. Let's see how long it takes for that comment to get over to you. Ah, look at you. Got it. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, will you take one where you can see the whole sign and the whole table, please? Do you mind?
Sure. That's a great idea.
Awesome. Yeah, because I only can see a little bit of the sign. That's so cool.
I took 2 pictures. You should have them now.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, the sign, my sign that says this is Anina. Do you see the sign on the side?
Portrait one. Let's try that one more
Sorry to
time.
bug you. Awesome.
This is what I do.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
1 second. Yes, that's perfect shot, my friend. Thank you so much. Perfect. Awesome.
Just tag me.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it looks like it was a great event. Everybody was like really happy with the whole way people like talk together. And I met the guy from the it's called the Museum of Incredible Things, who owns the building.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He's got a lot of cool stuff. Like, did he show you the cable from the Cross Atlantic? Yeah, he's got like a little piece of the cable, like the actual like Cross Atlantic line or whatever.
Really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, he was talking about. I was like, we belong in your museum. We're like super cool stuff.
I'm gonna take a picture of this cable and send it to you to see all the stuff he's got displayed.
Oh, blessings. That would be wonderful. Thank you. So cool. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Did you get him?
I got it. I got it. I'm tagging you right now. Thank you, my friend. I'm tagging you right now. So appreciated. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And that was so cool. That was so cool. So like I guess you guys are wrapping up now?
Yes, we are. Got a lot of stuff to move around.
All right. Well, I guess we can close it out for now. Maybe if oh, there's Claire. No?
Yep, Janet. I'm Aaron's wife, Janet.
Oh, hi Janet. How are you? Nice to
Good,
see
how are
you. What a wonderful event. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. And Eric just sent me a picture of the stand, so I just Instagrammed it out there and said thank you to Aaron and really appreciate that you guys would have me here in the Telepresence. I met the gentleman from the Museum of Interesting Things, and I met the gentleman that Claire was talking with, and I met Peter Sprague. I'm not sure what Peter Sprague does, but he looks interesting too.
I think you talked to my friend Ken too.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does Ken do? I didn't get to hear so much.
He's at the Innovation Lab at Visa.
At where? Sorry.
Visa.
What's
Visa. Visa Innovation. VISA. Visa. The credit card. Like
Oh, the Innovation Lab at Visa. Oh, yeah, yeah. Those guys are doing lots of cool stuff. Was he a speaker?
No. No. He was just in the audience.
Yeah, in San Francisco, Visa does lots of like hackathons and lots of cool stuff, you know? So, wow. Ken,
Yeah.
do I know Ken?
Aaron can say.
Yep. What? Say
She
what?
can't see you. Just say hi. We're about to shut her down. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Thank you again, Anita. Bye bye.
I'm glad I could say goodbye. Thank you so much. Do I get a picture with you? Wait a minute. Does Eric? Eric has to take a picture with me and you together.
Oh, and she wants to. That's right. Anina wants to be in the picture.
I want a picture with you.
What I did. Oh yeah. I'm holding too much garbage.
Eric is super professional.
And you use this one too. Hey. Well, so down probably she's oh, now you're waiting. Wait. There we go. Right. Hey! All right. Now I got it. It's John Woo with the double guns. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really amazing people. Thank you so much for having me. And, you know, both success. Love to follow up with you afterwards, okay? Thank you again.
And thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, maybe we can have you in person next year.
Oh, love to. Thank you so much. Bye, Erin. Thank you.